Welcome back, everybody, to the Controversity. I'm your host, Ian Elliott-Carter, and I have the most beautiful girl in the world with me. It is my girlfriend, Tatiana Wilson.
Hello.
And we just got done seeing It Chapter 2, which was one of my most anticipated movies of the year. Tati, I would like to ask you one time, what was your first thoughts of the movie?
I enjoyed it, but not as much as the first one.
Absolutely. I feel like the first one, man, that was such a high bar. I loved every minute of the first one. I can repeat some of the lines. I can tell you some of the scenes I thought were great. But the second one, I think it's a fair sequel. But at the same time, it just didn't live up to the expectations of the first one. They had, of course, new casting for the older versions of these characters, which I thought majority of them, 90% of them were fine, especially like Eddie and Richie. I felt like they were exactly what these kids would be if they grew up. Do you have any comments on the casting?
I thought they did really, really well with everybody. I mean, overall, like, at first, I didn't really like Ben's recasting, but then, like, the more that I watched it, I was like, wow, I can see why they picked, I don't know what his name is, but this person to play that character.
Yeah, it was somebody I've never seen or heard before, but I understand what you were saying too. It kind of threw me off when I was like, really? That's who you're going with?
Yeah, because I literally asked you, who's that supposed to be?
But I understood it too. Like, I think all of them practiced the mannerisms of the other kids before they did these parts. But like I said, I do think it's a great movie. It's not gonna be on my top list of the year, but it's fun. It's a good sequel, but it's not gonna be. If you're looking for a better movie than the first one, I'm still gonna recommend the first one. I think Bill Skarsgård did bring his A game to Pennywise. A lot of things that I had problems with though was the pacing. The first one was a long movie. It was like an hour and 30 minutes.
No, it was like 2 hours.
Or 2 hour and 30 minutes. Yeah. So it was like 2 hours and 30 minutes. This one was like almost 3 hours, right?
Yeah, this one was 250.
The big difference between that and the first one didn't feel that long, even though it was long, and it was one of those movies I wanted to see more of. But this one, it did feel long. I was just like, are we going to wrap this up? Kind of saw where it was going a little bit, and it kind of drug a little bit. There was, in its defense, there was some good jump scares. There was some scenes that did get me. But
overall, I think the first movie also did that better, though.
You think the first movie did jump scares?
I found myself kind of laughing at this one.
Yeah,
I laughed a lot.
This one actually was probably funnier.
Yeah,
I'd say if I was gonna give 1 point to it being better, when it came to its humor, it was definitely funnier.
And even the parts that I think were supposed to be scary or creepy, I found a little bit more difficult to take seriously than the last movie.
Right.
Which you would think that like you wouldn't feel that way since you have adults in this movie.
Right.
But honestly, I think that having the kids in the first movie is kind of what made it so creepy and like scary. Like you're like fearful for the children, and at this point you're like, all right, y'all grown adults, let's move along.
Yeah. There was this running gag like, let's just leave, and that was kind of an adult answer. But another thing, man, when it came to Pennywise, we kind of get a little bit of a backstory of Pennywise, just a little bit, but I feel like if you read the book, you understand this more, and we are two people that did not read the book, so
yeah, they didn't do a very good job at explaining.
They didn't, no. So if you're a moviegoer that's just seen the first one, maybe even the one from 1990s, and if you've not read the book, you might be lost. You might not understand, like, okay, what is the rules of this universe? Like,
didn't the first one, like the original, include more stuff like that?
I feel like it did. But I don't know. I felt a little lost at times.
No,
I'm just gonna be real with you.
I definitely agree. I mean, they just didn't really do a good job at explaining it, and they kind of tried, but I feel like they kind of glossed over it.
Right.
So,
all right. Well, final thoughts on this movie. What would you rate it? Like 1 to let's go. Let's do letters. A through F. What would you give it?
B minus.
B minus. Okay, passable for you. I'd give it a B minus too. It is passable. It's don't take my criticism as it's not watchable. And I think the performances from like James McAvoy and what's his name, Bill Hader, I think were really good. I don't know the guy's name that played the Eddie, which is the kid that was the one that was always sick. But I think he was a standout role, and I need to find out what his name was because I think he was the perfect interpretation of his younger counterpart. Mm-hmm. Like I said, Bill Skarsgård did a great job as well as Pennywise. Even
I wish he was in it more.
That's what I was just about to say. That if you're looking for more Pennywise, it's not going to happen. You're going to get less Pennywise. He's got some.
The parts that he's in are.
Oh yeah,
really,
he comes
really
to play. Good. He comes to play, but no, it was disappointing that we didn't get more Pennywise in this. But yeah, I would probably agree with a B minus. So I do recommend it if you're a fan of this series and if you want to see where it goes. Yes, I'm going to recommend it. Rewatch value, not really, especially if how long the movie is. But I am going to say this: it's if you saw the first one, definitely see this one. But I'm gonna be real with you. The first one's still better.
Definitely.
Definitely. So, hey, if you like my review, please like and share and subscribe to the channel. Love, peace, and chicken grease. And what did you think? Did you see It Chapter 2? Am I wrong? Did you love this movie or did you hate this movie? Am I wrong about that? Or you agree with me with it was average? Okay, so be fair to each other in the comments. It's just a movie. You know, it's not like it's actually going to kill you if you disagree with each other. Anyways,
it's not really life or death.
It's not really life or death. But like I said, peace.